she is from Shell. She's going to share a case study that's around mobile payments and about how Shell has met the challenge of meeting the consumer problem and the consumer need and blending a digital and physical experience together. You didn't know I was going to present what I was going to present, so I love the fact that you're following on from me. So if you can join me in welcoming Janine Albrecht-Webb to the stage, she can tell us all about how Shell is managing this. Thank you.
So this is really a short story about how we went, starting from the consumer, from the customer, throughout what we can do for that customer, being of service, and that's something that Paul said, which is really important to us. Think of the customer, what can we do, and then deliver something for that customer. Mobile payments is a very exciting area, but cash and card aren't broken. They work really well. So we need to make sure that if we are going into the mobile payment space, we are doing something that really makes it worthwhile for the customer. So I hope you will hear this with your consumer or customer chip in first and your digital expert next, and you will be able to relate to this. Just to give you a bit of context, Shell is a really large company, as you have probably all seen and filled up your cars, hopefully with, and I hope that after today you will do it with your mobile. But we are in about 70 countries, and we have a very large footprint of about 43,000 branded retail stations. That is a lot more than McDonald's, for example, and you seem to see a McDonald's every single corner, everywhere you go around the world. But with that size comes a lot of complexity, and a lot of complexity when it relates to payments and to loyalty and to offers and CRM and things that need IT to work well for customers. We have about 260 million uses of the Shell card, the Euro Shell, the B2B card. But if you look at card and cash payments, we take about 3 billion different transactions per year. So we process a lot of transactions. And then mobile is, of course, very small in the spectrum, but it's here to stay. And we just decided that we needed to jump on that bandwagon too. But what to do? And we looked at mobile as a means of delivering something to the customer rather than as an end. It was not really about, let's add mobile to the suite of payment methods so that you come, you fill up your car, you park, you walk to the store, you queue, and then you have a choice between cash, card, or mobile. That makes no sense for anybody. What can we do with mobile to turn that customer journey on its head? And if I tell you why we started in this, we thought, let's look at the customer pain point. All of our customers are different. Some come for fuel, some come for fuel and coffee, some sometimes only come for toilets or something from the shop. And we need to recognize that instead of forcing a journey whereby people buy their fuel and then they have to go into the store on the odd chance that they'll do an impulse buying of a chocolate bar or their 5-year-old will be screaming to get some sweets, we give each customer what they need. And what is very telling is about 60%, a bit more, of our customers come to Shell still only for the fuel. And if you are in the UK, because this case study will be UK-based, you will realize that only about a third of our network of 1,000 stations have means to pay at the pump. We only have pay at the pump facilities in about a third of the sites, and if you are lucky, they will be working well. A lot of the times they are not working or they are being switched off by the person managing the station. So what can we do to enable people who want just fuel to come and use their mobile phone to pay? And you can see who these people are. I mean, this is verbatim feedback we get from Tell Shell, from a Voice of the Customer program. So you can see you have to wait 5 minutes while all of the customers pay for their shopping. I mean, outrageous. I'm just queuing here for my petrol. Or I want to pay for my petrol and leave ASAP. These are people on a fuel-only mission. They want to get in and out. And we have research that says if they don't do this within 5 minutes or less, they will not be entirely satisfied with their visit. At the end of the day, it is a fuel station and not a shopping center. These are people who get very annoyed by having to go into the store and queue. But overall, look at this. These are some of our customer promises. We tell customers we want to make sure everything works. We want to make sure speed and ease is there, quick and easy transactions, for example. And people who are dissatisfied with their experience of Shell are so largely because of these type of things. Pay at the pump is not working. Payment system is not working. I waited too long to pay. Payment transaction was slow. So payment is clearly one of the key sources of anxiety for our customers every day. And this is again more verbatim. Fix the pay at the pump is never working. Still doesn't work. Most of the time my payment is not fully working. Blah, blah, blah. It's the same and same again. And it's so important for us to be able to give something to the customer that matters to them. So this is how we decided to address it. With such a large footprint, it's hard for us to invest on physical card readers at the pump. So putting an OPT, an outdoor payment terminal that allows you to pay with your card, is quite expensive. And of course, we cannot do that also with some of the mobile phone related technologies that take proximity payments, because you are not allowed to use your phone on the forecourt of a petrol station. But we took that as opportunities rather than as blockages. So we thought, let's do something that will improve the customer experience. Let's do something that will do something to solve a customer pain point, typically a business pain point as well, that will enable finally payment across every single pump and every single site without us needing to invest on the hardware needed for pay at the pump and card readers. Plus, the world is moving on. We don't want these forever. And let's see whether these will allow us to attract new customer segments. And Shell has a customer base of largely male and probably more 30 to 50 plus, rather than the younger customer segments or female customer segments. We want to make sure we can talk to them in a way that we connect. So we started in 2012, and we thought, right, let's see what is this noise about mobile payments and what can we do about it? What should we do? Which way should we go? And we did proof of concepts, we did trials in real sites with real customers where we presented new user journeys, turning the whole thing on its head and gathering their feedback. And only on the basis of those results, we devised it strategically, we developed it, we have the platforms, and we launched last year on the 23rd of July in the UK. And we are now working on not only improving it in the UK for customers, but also taking it forward in many different ways. So we have an app, which is the Motorist app, which before really had information, generic offers, station locators, so you could find out where your site was, etc. And only in July last year, we added Fill Up and Go. And this is your payment functionality within the app. You can also use the PayPal app, because we partnered with PayPal for this, but we also we use these, which is more of our way of digitally connecting and connecting the physical with the digital too. This is how it works. You turn up at Shell, you open your app, you have chosen before a cap that you might want to use as a fill-up. Otherwise, that's been kind of defaulted. And all you do is you check in at the moment using a QR code scanning. That pre-authorizes your purchase to the cap you have chosen, and you're ready to fill up. So just with one click, you're ready to fill up. You fill up your car, you get back in your car, and you drive off. You don't have to walk to the store. You don't have to queue to pay. You don't need anything. You will receive a transaction summary immediately, and you can email yourself a full VAT receipt if you need for your expenses. So it's actually a smooth way of cutting the time if all you want is fuel. Of course, if what you want is to go into the store and pay for something else, that also has good improvement on you because you have less people in front of you paying for the fuel. They can pay outdoors. So there's something in there for every type of customer. And this is how we did it in terms of marketing. We were really trying to tell people this is a faster way to pay. Maybe other oil retailers, maybe other supermarkets want you to go into the store and buy things because margins are bigger at the store. But we want to do something that matters to the customer. And if that means just buying the fuel, then you are very welcome to do so. So it's all about, hey, queuing, use Fill Up and Go. We had all sorts of experiential marketing and brand ambassadors outside trying to explain to people how to connect and register. We had out-of-home advertising. This is Waterloo Station. We had an incentive piece around September last year or October where we were giving £5 off towards the first purchase of Fill Up and Go. And we also had a promotion during December where we gave 1 million Avios points per day for 3 people each day. So 3 million points each day between the 1st and the 24th of December. And this was just some social media feeds about where those people were going. And what matters is now to circle back, because we started with the customer, and we want to make sure that this works for the customer, and we can end with the customer. It's very early days. We've only been live for 8 months in one market. But I said female drivers, for example, not typically our target audience. So parents of young children have huge anxiety about the fact they go into a station, and legally you are in theory, asked to take out your children from the car to walk to the store. But if you have more than one, if it's a baby, if he or she's asleep, or if they are always making a fuss because they want to buy the entire shop, you are bound to leave them in the car because it's a lot easier. Then you're always having an eye on the queue and an eye on the children just in case they leave the car. If you have the car locked, the alarm goes off. If you have the car unlocked, the children go off. So this is something that has resonated very big with parents. Female, obviously, this is all made for moms on the internet, but also male drivers with young children in the car who now feel they can stay by the car and by the children whilst they fill up. And these I like. The app is simple to navigate, so important for a technophobe like me. If she's a technophobe and she finds it simple, that's something that we like. And we have a lot of feedback already that we monitor all the time. Not having to queue meant that I saved valuable time. Normally when you queue is dead time. And although on average your visit to a Shell station takes 4 minutes from beginning to end, if they ask you how long it takes, you'll say probably 10. Because it's just not something you look forward to. You don't wake up this morning and say, yes, I'm going to spend £100 today filling up my car with something I cannot see, I cannot touch, I cannot smell, and I cannot taste. So this is a way of making it nice. Save dragging my little boy to pay. No queues, no waiting. It was brilliant. The ease of paying and refueling. So this is what we want. We wanted to circle back and make sure that it strikes the right chord. It hasn't worked well for every customer, of course, and we are working on improving it, but largely it's been really fantastic. It's a joy to use. Wow, that's good. It's a lot easier with 2 kids, again. It helped me track on how much I spent. So you can see your transaction history on your app, and you can see how much money you've spent in fuel a month, per week, per quarter, whatever you like. And this is a particular favorite of mine. This is not something we really thought about originally, but we have attended service in about 200 of our stations. And we have disabled drivers that come to those stations, and somebody fills up the car for them. But until now, they still had to find a way of getting the payment through inside the shop. And this is a way, again, in which they can just, with the use of their mobile, and probably in future with the use of their car's dashboard, they'll be able to do this. So we feel it's early days, but we've really thought of the customer, and we felt that mobile, instead of just being added as another channel to pay, as another way to pay, helps us connect and solve one of their key pain points. Any questions? Yes? We've trained all of the staff, not only the cashiers, but also the managers of the sites, showing the advantages of giving different customers something they want. So if customers were on a fuel-only mission and we were forcing them inside the shop, they would typically be going to other brands where they could pay with their card at the pump. So this is a way of bringing them back. If customers were those who were wanting to do Fuel Plus shop, they will still do Fuel Plus shop. So they will not be losing them. And what we have is indications that when we when we help reduce the queue inside the store by bringing payment outdoors, actually people who want shop goods feel at ease of buying more. So they typically have a bigger basket size. So it works out for everybody, and it works out for the retailer. Plus, they don't need any hardware. This works through the air over the cloud. They don't need to enable the pumps, so it's there for customers to use. They just have to follow with the setup.
We have another question.
Yeah, for the payments piece, you can use the PayPal app, which of course you can use across many different merchants, in the UK at least. Otherwise, it's at the moment our app. I mean, it is, I think, early days on the mobile payment space. And although if I fast track and I see ubiquitous apps going very big and being there to stay, at the moment it's a little bit of an education. This is a completely new customer journey from a payments point of view in a fuel station. We've been educating people for years and years not to use their phone, for example. This is safe because it's inside the car, it's not on the forecourt. That's why we wouldn't do anything at the pump itself. This is payment in the car. So what we are doing is we are trying to educate our customers in this. This is a really loyal base who are referring friends to that loyal base, and they are coming with a very good relationship to Shell. Maybe in 10 years, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 3 years, less of the merchant-specific apps will stay, and more of the ubiquitous apps will be there. But we decided to stay with this. Allow the PayPal app, but stay with this as well for the beginning. It's a bit like the Starbucks app.
Yeah, Janine, obviously one of the reasons you've got this is because you want to generate more loyalty for this. So is there any evidence to suggest that the people who use the app are more loyal to you?
They are very loyal, and also they are much more likely to spend their fuel on Shell V-Power, which is our differentiated brand, because they really believe on the quality fuel. So not only we have a higher loyalty penetration, we also have a premium product penetration within the mobile base.
So, and then the last question, I mean, I'm sure there are lots of other questions people would want to ask you. If you're still here over the lunch period, then people will catch up with you. The last question I want to ask you is maybe something a little bit challenging, but for a lot of brands, their branded app is for a niche of a niche. It's for a tiny number of their customers.
Yeah.
You're clearly investing in this as part of a future, but how many Shell customers is it really going to, you're obviously not going to tell us the numbers now, but how many people is it really going to reach? Are we just really looking at a tiny number that are actually interested in this, or do you genuinely think that people shift across to this as mobile payments become more?
We have seen a big uptake of this, actually, and what we can see is we have a core set of customers who are coming and using it again and again and again, and referring customers who are using it again and again. So I don't think we want to have necessarily 100 million customers using the app. What we want is to have really valuable, loyal customers using the app. And it's all about the quality of those customers rather than the quantity of those customers.
Perfect. Okay, great. Please join me in thanking Janine Albrecht-Webb. Thank you, Janine. Super.